Hi, this is LARP and today I'm gonna tackle the LARP tag. Um, so I'm just gonna go right into it. First question is, who was my first character? Well, the first character I can really remember as a character was one of Treebeard's kinfolk, and my first big LARP I went to. I went to it in about a 12 hours notice. We were first just meeting the first group of kids, 15, 16-year-olds, in a big park, and one of the guys training in Tai Chi nearby came up and asked us, "Are you gonna come to the big game tomorrow?" Because he saw us playing big swords, and we had no clue what he was talking about. And apparently there was a big Lord of the Rings LARP on the following day, or actually the following weekend. So I just joined him. He was playing Treebeard, one of the NPCs, and I was accompanying him as one of the younger treelings. And I don't have most of my costume has gone in the midst of time, but I do have the weapon I used. This is a huge pool noodle sword based on a PVC rod. This is almost as tall as I am, and when at that time it was tall as I am. Since then it's been broken. This got snapped off and just shoved a piece of broomstick inside and glued it up again. And we were really crude back then. And this was just in my basement, and I happened to find it a couple of months ago. I'm cleaning up. You can even see the green paint we had here. This was folded up to look a bit like a hand, and we glued up some more branches on it, and that was my big tree hand. And the second question, favorite NPC to play? Well, there was a bunch of games that I was NPC in one of them. I was a miniature, and I had a big foam miniature head on, and I was scaring little kids, and I had a small maze to hide in. So it was really fun. I really felt like the fear that I installed in little kids, or bigger kids, like older than I am. I was scared. Current character's favorite position. I think, well, this is for Teka Kawitha, my character in Castle Forge. This is his jacket, and this is something, not exactly a jacket, but a kaftan jacket or a gi I made myself. I stole myself from some couch I hunted. This is real leather, and it looks buckskin colored. So I put this on, and I hardly got to use it in the game because it was so warm. But I really liked all the little details I put here. But this is the most prized position. Like a good jacket. Shoes. How many shoes have I messed up in games? Well, actually, I just messed up my first pair, and I was in preparation for a game. In one of our tours of the Castle Forge area, nice, really wilderness area, I ruined my tennis shoes, and I was walking through a field, and suddenly had this piece of stick just bouncing through it. So that was that. That's my first pair I ever ruined. How long have I been LARPing? Well, that first Lord of the Rings LARP I went when I was, I think, 16 or 17. So that's 13 or 14 years. First game experience. Well, I'm not sure if it was before or after the big Lord of the Rings game. We did have like a Shadowrunny kind of game in one of the role-playing conventions. It was inside. We had to be shooting little foam guns, and I might even have that coat around here. Everybody was wearing big coats to hide their guns in. Nice big trench coats. I can't seem to find it. But it's someplace over here where everybody's wearing, little 14, 15-year-old kids wearing trench coats that are this much too long, dragging around them. And that was fun. It was very call system LARPy. It wasn't, no actual foam fighting or foam bullets hitting, just caps and rule calling. I think that was my first real LARP event. Which Disney character do I look like? Or my characters? Well, I don't watch a lot of Disney, and the internet's gonna hate that. Tekka is somewhere between the Beast and Probably if I could play anything, what would it be? Even out of my genre. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one. I like to play a commoner once in a while because I keep getting sucked into playing prominent figures in games, and I just want to not be important for once in a while. Just be maybe a peasant or just a man-at-arms or something. Not even a man-at-arms, just a simple soldier. That would be fun. Or a wizard. I've never played a wizard. I haven't played a wizard in a very long time. That could be interesting. From around lightning bolts and stuff. Which world would I like to play in? Well, I want to use this environment out here in Israel because there's a limit to how much you can copy medieval Europe in our terrain, and some areas of the country you can do it, but a lot of it you can't. And on the other hand, we have a great terrain for a Dark Sun LARP, and that's a pet peeve I had for a couple of last months, and I might work on it later on. And I really want to try the Dark Sun. And if you don't know what Dark Sun is, you should be ashamed of yourself. It's a D&D world setting, started in the 90s, second edition, AD&D second edition, where the world is very atypical. Dwarves are bald. There's hardly any magic because all the magic uses the life force of plants, and everybody abused it, so the whole world is dry. It's a very post-apocalyptic world. There's no metal. Everybody uses bone or stone as tools, and there's a lot of psychers, a lot of mutated monsters. Everything is tougher, and that seems very fun. And what my weapon of choice is? Well, currently I really like buckler. It's not a real weapon; it's a buckler because it's not most effective in battlefield conditions, against halberds or big spears, but it's very elegant in its use, and I'm trying to get to study 133 or I-33, the historical manual, one of the oldest ones on the buckler fighting. So I might fix up this old fiberglass sword, kind of make it look into a espada ropera, a Spanish predecessor to the rapier, and I gotta work with these together. Or I might just even change this for a main gauche side dagger, but I really like this, and it's hard to fight with this, but it's very elegant, and the harder something is, the better you train at it. So I've been getting some training with this, and that's about it. The shout out for Cassie Chung, that watching her video made me want to do this, so he didn't tag me, but thanks for making. And that's about it. See you later.